Right, now this will tell us. And that's pretty conclusive. Still going. Close. I think he's got it down.
How strong is he?
Well, welcome back to the Pick and Go podcast, your one-stop shop for all things rugby union. And once again, I'm joined in studio after a break last week. Pity Weepu's in the house.
Kia ora, kia ora, kia ora. I'm not late this time. Just going to put that one out there.
Yeah, well,
You know,
we better take a photo because just so we have evidence for future reference. Good to have you back though, bro.
It's good to be back. A bit, especially after the weekend we've had with NPC.
Yeah. And we're also joined by our good friend Ben Searle of Surly Talk Sports. Surly, welcome back in, mate.
Thanks, mate. I am late, so I'll cop that. Sorry, lad.
That's not me. Yeah. No, just take a photo of that, please. No.
Oh, boy. Well, we've got a big show, so I guess we should get right into it because I've got to get out of here pretty soon. Why don't we have a look at the betting from last week first? Get it out of the way. We'll get the bad stuff out of the way first.
Lucky I wasn't here to come up with some outrageous ones.
So what did we have last week? We had, of course, we had Steve Devine on the show. He had one bet, Manawatu to beat Canterbury at $4.50. Wasn't even close, though, to be fair, there was a late scratching in that Manawatu team with, was Lomapi. Was Lomapi out? And then Braden Yose went off injured early in the game. We'll have a look at the NBC a wee bit later. Anyway, no good for Steve Devine. Surly, he had a 3-leg multi. Taranaki to lead at halftime, Taranaki to win. Canterbury to lead at halftime, Canterbury to win. Into Waikato just to win. And as we know, that certainly didn't happen. So minus 100 for Surly for last week, minus 141.98 for the season. And I had one multi, and I had Stanley Solomon to score a try, and because he didn't start, you don't actually get on. But I've put it down as a loss into Waikato to win by 13 or more. That was horrible. So down 100 for the week, up $745.58 for the season, though, Pity. So
You just had to throw that last part in there, eh?
But you've got to be accuracy, and it's all about the accuracies.
Yeah,
You know?
consistently losing.
Got to be accurate on the field. Got to be accurate in the podcast. Righty ho. Where do we go from here? Well, we've got a big weekend of footy coming up. So where do we start? Why don't we start with a question for you boys? There's a massive record that will be put under a certain amount of strain this Saturday night. It's the All Blacks record at Eden Park. I guess they haven't lost there since 1994, the All Blacks. 1994, 50 test matches they have not lost in a row at Eden Park. They lost to the French in 1994, 23-20. I think if you remember it, it was the try from the end of the world or something like that. And then the very next test at Eden Park, the All Blacks drew 18-all with the Springboks. They've had another draw against the British and Irish Lions.
Debatable.
But everything after in between has been a win for the All Blacks. So unbeaten for 30 plus years at Eden Park. So is that under threat this season? Will the Springboks be the first team to beat the All Blacks since 1994 at Eden Park? Or will be maybe it's the Wallabies later on in the year? Or will Fortress Eden remain intact for another season? Why don't we head up to Surly first to give us his thoughts on what might happen there?
Look, there's no doubt that this weekend presents the biggest challenge of the year for me in my mind, and in terms of defending Eden Park. I think the Aussies without Will Skelton and Tom Wright are going to be massively affected there. It was a real shame that Skelton had to go back to France because he was kind of that staunch, that enforcer in their forward pack, and I think they're really going to miss him. And Tom Wright looked elite. So I'm not worried about the Wallabies coming to Eden Park. They are improved, but I think we beat them. The Springboks this weekend is the one that will have people nervous, but I still think we get them. I think we beat them at home. It's Wellington, your blokes area,
Wow.
and that cursed cake tin that I am worried about.
Wow.
But yeah, I reckon the record lives on. We get the win against South Africa in a close one, and we finally catch a high ball.
Well, I know we're talking international footy at the moment, but if we're talking horrible footy at the moment, then we're talking about that Auckland, North Harbour, Counties Manukau area. We'll get to that a wee bit later.
Mate, that was an absolute drive-by just because your blokes won a game. Come on.
Penny, you would have played in a number of those All Black victories at Eden Park.
Yep, I have. Well, I mean, we had a few during the World Cup, but not only that, but the Tri Nations and Bledisloe and that. So yeah, I've been involved in a few. And to be fair, we never really talked too much about that.
Like it's not brought up in team discussions or
No, it's more. I guess that just adds more pressure, and rather than us creating more pressure on ourselves, we just try not to worry about it and focus on. Well, you can't control the result unless you actually go and work for it or work on it during the week. So we always try to make sure that we focused on ourselves to make sure we got the results. But we never talked about that we haven't lost there since '94, and or anything like that. We just go there to make sure we try and get the job done by turning these strengths into weaknesses and making sure we not take them out, but don't let them influence the game as much as they should.
So outside of the two draws that the All Blacks have had at Eden Park since 1994, the closest match would have been the Rugby World Cup final back in 2011. You were part of that. In the lead up to that game, were there any concerns? How confident was the team?
No, well, I don't know about the rest of the team, but I was pretty confident that we were going to win the World Cup from the start. Just because
before the tournament started,
we collectively, including the coaches or management and all that, we knew the areas of concern for us, and our being mentally strong was one of them, and then also obviously understanding shifts in momentum throughout the course of a game. Whether it's in favour of the opposition, so how do we sort of create that so we get the momentum back in our favour so that we can play the style of footy that we want. And then in 2007, obviously, never had the chance to take a drop goal when they probably needed it the most against the French.
Mm-hmm.
We made sure that we had something up our sleeve, which we did execute in the semi-final that Aaron Cruden did with the drop goal.
So that was something that you actually practiced.
Yep.
During the tournament too, if we need it, we've got it in the bag.
And we actually practiced it and executed it. So that sort of come to fruition, the drop goal, knowing that if we do get into tight situations, we can always resort to that to get the 3 points that we need.
Right here. The question was, will the Springboks break the Eden Park hoodoo this weekend? Or if not, will the Wallabies do it later on in the season? Or will the All Blacks remain or keep that unbeaten streak going?
I think we back our boys. We'll get the job done. I know it's not going to be easy as the Springboks are a very strong squad. So it'll be whether the boys can take out their strengths, which is key players in their team that can have an influence on the game. Try and limit the opportunities to create those moments in their favour. So yeah, that I know the aerial game will be a massive one. Obviously they work hard on it, but I know our back three definitely work hard on it, but some just don't quite reap the rewards that the Springboks boys do. So not only that, the physicality is going to be a massive game up front. We know that their boys love to carry the ball into contact. Set pieces is another one. You never know. They might pull out one of their random rules that worked around and start scrumming the boys and try and get them a bit more fatigued than usual because they're having to scrum a lot more. But I'm pretty sure Russie's got something up his sleeve.
Yeah.
Hopefully the boys react to it in a positive way and don't allow them to do the things that they want to do.
Surly, and just to clarify, you're of the opinion that the All Blacks will keep this record going?
100%.
Okay, all righty.
What are you?
I'd like to see the...
Oh, that's a no then. Say it with your chest, Paulie. You're taking the 240 or whatever's on offer at the moment, aren't you, on the box? I can tell it in your eyes.
I'd like to see the two teams named before I make a definitive yes or no. But at the moment, I think the All Blacks keep the record intact for another season.
That's not what you were telling me out there when we were talking about this record that they've got, that the first one was a draw. And you were thinking, I might put my money on a draw.
Well,
That's not bad.
They still keep the unbeaten streak going.
True.
You know, there's a wee bit of symmetry there
That
too.
also tells us you're sitting on the fence.
Right, let's get to the odds for the big test match up at Eden Park this weekend. All Blacks $1.52, the Springboks $2.45. The Springboks are 4.5 point underdogs, and the game total is set at 50.5. To be fair, Surly, the Springboks haven't played that often in recent history at Athletic Park. I think the last time at Eden Park, sorry.
Yeah.
No one's playing at Athletic Park anymore, except for the retirees. The last time the Springboks played at Eden Park, I think it was back in 2013. So there's a few drinks been had since then. That was when the All Blacks won 29-15. So if you look at the odds, do you think it's a fair reflection of the two teams at the moment?
I'm a little bit surprised, to be honest. I thought South Africa were going to be a bit shorter than that, and that it would be kind of $1.80, $1.90 a piece. But I've had a lot of people ask me for a please explain. I'm not sure why. So maybe you can explain, Paulie, just how much like a home record like that gets factored in by the bookies and how much it can drive a price up or down, because they factor in things like that, right?
Yes, they certainly do. So what they'll usually do is they will look at a matchup and then apportion a point start to that matchup as if they were playing at a neutral ground. And then they will then factor in home field advantage. There'll be a general sort of home field advantage of, say, 3 or 4 points, depending on who the team is. And then if you've got Eden Park in the equation, they might add on another half or another point there. So if we look at the fact that the All Blacks are 4.5 point favourites, I think you can take out of that if they were playing at a neutral venue, that these two teams would probably be $1.90 the pair. They wouldn't be separated. So if you think that's a fair reflection, if the two teams were playing at a neutral venue and they should both be paying exactly the same, then the bookies are right on the mark.
But, I mean, I've been number one for quite some time now.
Who, the Springboks?
Yeah, you don't drop that amount down a bit shorter than that to be a lot tighter.
You certainly take that into account. You also take into the most recent results between the two teams. Okay. And, of course, the last time the All Blacks played the Springboks, I think we all know what happened. There wasn't too much between the two teams, actually. So having a look at that, I think the odds are pretty much where they should be. Once again, it'd be very interesting to see what Rassie Erasmus decides to go with in terms of his team lineup, what sort of balance he has on the bench. Is he going to have a bomb squad? Probably. Why would he mess with that?
Wow. I think it kind of got neutralized by
what, the Wallabies?
Yeah, in that first, and it's probably the first time in a while. But I mean, I know it's sort of not going to be. I don't reckon they'll change too much. Maybe if they keep a 5-2 split, or will they go with a 6-1 split, depending on how they want to attack this game, really. So Potentially could they might still keep it, but I don't know. I thought it got neutralised a little bit from the Wallabies.
Surely, do you think the fact that Rassie Erasmus has brought Faf de Klerk back into the squad means that we could actually see a 6-1 split with Faf on the bench covering the entire back line to a certain extent, or do they go with a 5-2? How do you see this playing out?
Yeah, I think it's a genuine possibility, and I also think it's a chance that also Rassie is just making a statement that they've got 4 halfbacks available and fit, and that we have our front 3 out. He's that type of operator, right? Where he'll just be like, oh, look, we can call up a Faf who 2 years ago was arguably one of the best 9s in the world. He's not making our squad at the moment, but he's healthy and good to go, and try and create a bit of head noise there as well. But I think a 6-2 split is a genuine possibility, and so would be just the one back on the bench as well. It's going to be interesting to see which way they go, but I am less scared of the bomb squad this year than I have been in previous years off the back of what the Wallabies have showed us. I think it could well just be a Rassie mind game.
Oh, boy, we're going to cut that little piece out there. I'm less scared of the bomb squad than I have been in a few. Well,
what's your thoughts?
Well, once again, it all comes down to team selection. I just don't know which way Rassie, and I think that's the brilliance of Rassie. You really don't know which way he's going to go.
Well, then going off what you know
Yeah.
about them, how would you go with your bench then? Would you go with the bomb squad and one back? Or would you have at least 2 backs on your bench to cover?
If I'm Rassie, I'll go the 6-1 split, and I have Faf on the bench. I'll go all out. If I don't look, one of the main facets or areas of this Test match, I think, where it will be won and lost, is the aerial battle, and we know that the All Blacks have struggled in recent times in the aerial battle, and so. Once again, what does Razor do this time? Does he I guess, have 2 fullbacks playing sort of thing? One on the wing, one at fullback? I don't know. I'm sure that's one area where they'll be focusing on this week is the aerial battle, because the Springboks are so very, very good at it. And if the All Blacks don't get at least parity in that area, it'll be very, very tough for them to come out on top.
Well, we're missing a play anyway. We've all gone with a 6-1 or a 5-2 split.
Yeah, see, I was saying 6-2 or 7-1.
7-1,
not
6-2.
7.
See, that's why I was saying 6-2. You two are stuck in the early 2000s, lad.
6 and 1, bro.
There's 23 these days, mate. There's 23 these days.
Yeah, my bad. It's because I've been coaching first 15.
Yeah. And saying that, though, Paulie, do you think if the aerial battle is going to be their main target, then they need to carry an outside back? Because if they were to lose a Colby or someone like that, bringing on a Faf or someone like that, there'd need to be an outside back that can play 9 and be a reasonably large body, or else they will lose the aerial battle.
Has Faf played 7s before? He's played 7s.
They've played him on the wing before. They've chucked him on the wing before. And, of course, we've seen their flankers basically play in the midfield and on the wings before as well, because they're athletic. But, yeah, I don't know. It's dangerous, isn't it? Because the amount of times now you see outside backs, maybe head knocks, things like that, it can change a whole game if you've just got a halfback on the bench.
They probably practice for that, though. If they go with that 7-1 split, they've obviously practiced that. If we do have an injury out wide, then Faf, that's where you're going. And so we're going to run a few scrimmages with you out wide. Obviously, that's not what they want to happen, but they have that sort of contingency plan there if they do go for that 7-1 split.
I guess they could always hide him if they don't need him on the edge to help with the high ball. You could potentially defensively put someone else back there, like a 7. That's pretty good in the air as well, just to sort of help that side of it out.
Or could they chuck Faf in running at 9 or 10, and then put Pollard at the back, and then maybe the fullback moves out to the wing. I don't know. Anyway, it's going to be a fascinating battle to see what actually happens. And in terms of which way Razor will go, of course, Lester Whanganuku is being called into the squad. And he has been playing very, very well for Tasman in the NPC. Looks like the rules are getting slightly bent there to accommodate that. It's great to see him back in the black jersey. How long before we see him actually on the field, though, Shirley?
I don't think you can do it as much as I want to, because I think he's potentially our best 13 and our best winger at the moment. I don't think you can do it. It makes too much of a statement to the guys that are in the squad at the moment that haven't got a real opportunity, that Leicester is in front of them, and then you open up such a can of worms. Like, I was even surprised here that someone like an AJ Lamb didn't get a look in, who's been playing pretty well in a struggling Auckland side. They've had him around the squad for a while. Like, if I'm him now, I'm just thinking, let's go make some money, because it's clear that you're down the pecking order. I'd be looking in Japan and all sorts. So I just don't think it's like a Leroy Carter, someone like that. If Leicester comes straight in over the top of them, then personally, I'd be fuming. But as a fan, like, he's the guy that I think we would all pick. We would chuck him in, but you also have to balance the squad, the culture, what the black jersey means, rewarding guys who have stuck around as well, in my opinion. I think it would be pretty harsh to the guys that have been in the squad from day one.
Let's move on to the other test match in the Rugby Championship this weekend, and the Argentinians travel to Australia to take on the Wallabies. The Wallabies are $1.45, Argentina $2.70. They're 5.5 point favourites, the Wallabies at home, and the game total is set at 56.5. Is there value here in the Wallabies, Surly, or with the injuries that they've had? Do you think the Argentinians could go back-to-back in test wins?
I reckon this is going to be close, because I thought Argentina's forward pack muscled up nicely in that second test and probably won that battle at the breakdown. And removing Skelton from this pack, like I touched on before, does leave a little bit of vulnerability there. I think the Wallabies will be confident, even though they lost to the Boks in that second test, because they were so close to pulling that off as well. Back at home, we know Argentina historically don't travel as well, but in saying that, I mean, they've bet the All Blacks the last couple of times they've come to New Zealand, so they will be confident as well. I reckon this is going to be really tight either way, and it could come down to the wire, because I think Argentina in the forward pack in particular, if they can match the physicality and win that breakdown battle like they did against us, we've seen like that goes so far in shutting teams down, right? If you can slow down ruck speed, if you can generate it yourself, stop them getting gain line, the game is practically won. They're so good off the boot and in the air. They'll try rinse and repeat what they did to the All Blacks. And if they can execute it at the level they did against us, then they are right there and some decent value.
Pity, do you see value in either side here, or do you agree with Surly that it's going to be a fairly tight game?
No, yeah, I agree. It's good, most definitely. If Argentina can try and execute how the Springboks sort of played against the Wallabies in their second game, I have a feeling that it'll definitely push them. If not, if they don't get the win, they'll definitely they'll push to get the second one. Because I have a feeling they're not far off. I think having back-to-back games against the ABs helped them understand how they could try and beat the ABs. Whereas if you're sitting back watching clips and things like that, you don't actually know until you actually play them that you might have come up with the wrong game plan. And then by the second game, you understand a bit better. And I'm pretty sure the coaching staff and Conte and that understand, because he's only sort of he's quite young as a coach as well. It's the best way to do it is either learn from your mistakes and move forward so that you can get the results that you want. And I thought that's exactly what they did against the ABs. They executed that really well, disrupted that, and put them out off their game, whether it was niggly little things or not. But I have a feeling it'll be a close test this Saturday.
Righty-ho. Once again, we're sort of running out of time.
Yeah, actually, I just got a text from your mate Carl saying we have to be out of there in 11 minutes. So they're watching you, Paulie. They're watching you sharply.
Righty. Let's move on to the NPC and have a quick look back at last weekend because there were a number of upsets. One of them was up north, where Northland took care of the Magpies 27-22. North Harbour remained winless after going down the Bay of Plenty.
We were improved, Paulie. We're building.
Canterbury, big winners over Manawatu, 53-14 in Rangiora. Counties Manukau, feeling the backlash from a Taranaki side that just lost the Shield the week prior, 22-43. The Tasman Markor were given a fright at home by Otago. Otago looked very, very good in that game. Tasman Markor 31-27. Wellington, who got off to a very quick start against Auckland and were just too good in the end down at Porirua Park, 36-17, which means Auckland, after 5 rounds, are still winless. And then the final game of the round, the big one, this was the big one, the Shield Challenge, Waikato, after taking it off Taranaki last week, gave it up the very next week to the Southland Stags, 25-10. And to be fair to Southland, they thoroughly deserved to win that game. They were all over Waikato. I see Waikato had the, I guess, the advantage of having a number of All Blacks coming back into the side. That didn't really help them, though. Southland just played much better as a team. They looked to slightly out-enthuse Waikato at times there. I thought a number of players outplayed their opposites. Surely, if you look at that game, Southland thoroughly deserved to have that Shield back down home.
Massively. And they looked in control for the majority of the game, didn't they? Like they looked so much more up for it than Waikato, which is interesting, right? Because when you look at the teams on paper, you see the 4 All Blacks, you think Waikato will defend the Shield here and be too strong at home. But Southland, they continue to knock teams off this year, and they may not be full of superstar names, but they have some bloody good players in there too, led by their skipper, Withy. Like, he's outstanding. And you can just tell that jersey means a lot to this team. And I think we mentioned it a couple of weeks back, like for a lot of these guys, this is the highlight of their rugby season. This is what they get up for. They're not focused on super and other things. When you've got a team like Southland, like this is the peak. This is what they train all year for. And sometimes you can see that in the energy levels and the want. And I thought Southland rocked up with a really good game plan. They stuck to their guns. They got some talent in that team. And yeah, they just dominated Waikato. I don't think you'd find anyone that didn't say they deserved to be winners. And this is why NPC footy is so good, right? Like, packed airports again. It was basically a parade through Invercargill. Apparently the weather was pissing down, but that didn't stop people from showing up. Like, they love this team. They love the Shield. And it's so cool that they got it. I just hope they don't lose it to my least favourite team in the country.
You said your favourite team.
Southland. It looked like half of Southland had turned up at the airport to welcome the boys back home, as Silly says, on a very, very wet and cold Southland day. If you look at the Southland team, though, the forward pack operates very, very well. They got a lot of go forward. They had the Waikato team on the back foot almost from the outset, and they've got some very good backs as well. Led by that halfback of theirs, who is it, Shearer?
Yeah, I think potentially Waikato might have had the hangover after winning the Ranfurly Shield. Might have celebrated a little too hard, not understanding that actually there's 5 more rounds to go, guys. So we need to lock this up for the summer. But I mean, biggest one for me would be Whaletoi Penny being able to get them over the advantage line with his strong carries. And then not only that, creating opportunities for the boys on those edges, but that forward pack, in terms of being dominant, they were consistent right from the get-go in terms of trying to, I guess, bully the bullies, really, and make sure that they walk away with the log of wood. And I think it was 2011 was the last time that they had it. So for them to have that, it says a lot. Obviously, with the fans showing up at the airport to welcome the boys, Shield Fever's still alive.
Mm.
It's certainly-
Just on Penny, like Falatoy, he's dominated the Auckland comp up here for the last 4 or 5 years. Literally the best player in the Auckland club rugby. Didn't get an opportunity. Harbour wanted to sign him. He went down to Southland. He was the one that got away. Was meant to come to Northcote too, so I'm heartbroken. But geez, he can play. I believe he was in Moana's wider squad this year. But if you're the Highlanders, snap him up, chuck him in a midfield with Tava Nawai. That is a worse nightmare. Even 1-2 punch off the bench, like that is all out power right there. And I thought he was the best back and possibly the best player of NPC on the weekend. So another one Auckland missed out on.
Yeah.
You made the right choice there, Falatoy. Good idea. Head down south. Make a name for yourself. Another game that I'd like to have a look at before we head on to this weekend. Tasman Markle Otago. Otago took the lead with, a couple of minutes to go and into injury time. And once again, the Markle just a wee bit too good. But if you're an Otago fan, you must be. In fact, that down the bottom of the South Island, there's a whole lot of good things. In fact, you might as well just say the whole of the South Island. There's a whole lot of good things going on in terms of provincial rugby. They weren't that far away from upsetting Tasman at home. So if you look at that game, obviously Tasman, they've got a very, very good side. Once again, Whanganuku looked very, very good. You could say a class above at times against a very, very good Otago side. But they take a lot of positives out of that one, surely, Otago.
Yeah, absolutely. I think once you knew that one went to rolling maul, that it was going to be incredibly hard to stop. And Tasman's so strong at set piece. But yeah, if I'm a Landers fan, I'm feeling so positive about what's going on down there at the moment. They've picked up a couple young guns from outside the region too, but Otago, Southland, both playing great code.
Okay, let's have a look at a couple of games this weekend. Why don't we start with that Shield Challenge? And the bookies have no respect for the Southland Stags whatsoever. Southland, $5. Canterbury, $1.16. There are 13.5-point underdogs at home, Southland. The game total set at 56.5. Surly, where are you looking here?
I got a text from one of my mates, or a message from one of my mates in the Southland team. It was 5:30 a.m. on Monday morning, and they were wrapping up. So they've got it out of their system. Hopefully they've come right now. I'm going on the line, Southland plus 12.5. I think Canterbury are looming and they're dangerous and they'll probably get it, but I reckon Southland don't get blown out and the $5 is crazy.
Pity?
Oh, I wanted to stay way down south. I mean, they weren't tipped to be anywhere where they are now on the table. They were pretty much said that they're going to be bottom feeders, and they've proven everyone wrong. And I think that it's one thing winning it, but it's another thing actually protecting it and keeping it where it belongs. So if I was those boys, I wouldn't be celebrating too long. I'd be wanting to keep it down in the deep south and make sure that everyone knows that they mean business. But yeah, 12 and under, Southland.
Oh, hold on, 12 and under. $6.50.
Bargain.
Wow,
Does Sam Derry play? Does Sam Derry play? Because he's called into the All Blacks training squad, but does he get released? Like, if he's not in this, like, what's the go?
What is the go there?
He'd be massive. I don't know.
If you're in the squad and they need you, they'll have them warm up.
Yeah, true. He'll hold the tackle bags in the warm up, won't he?
In case someone goes down during warm up, which has happened in the past, they just need to make sure that everyone's on the same page so that if someone goes down during the warm up, they just slot in and get the job done. So no, he won't get released, damn it.
1 minute, Paulie.
Have a look at the try bet. Either team to win by under 7.5, paying $3.50. If you think it will be close, and I'm sure Southland will not give up without a fight down south there. Another one that we should probably look at is Counties Manukau, North Harbour. The two unbeaten two of the three unbeaten teams open this round.
Unbeaten or yet to win?
Yet to win. Oh, sorry.
Top of the table.
Just trying to make you happy there, Shirley. Sorry.
Yeah.
Counties Manukau and North Harbour. unless there's a draw here,
I think he's trying to turn the table
one
upside
of them-
down, bro.
one of them will certainly have a win. And the bookies think it's going to be Counties Manukau, $1.45 Counties Manukau, North Harbour $2.70, 6.5-point favourites, the home team, and the game total set at 59.5. Surely, are your boys going to get up and upset Counties Manukau?
I think this is our best chance of a win all year. So this needs to be our All Blacks versus South Africa. This has to be the one that we live for. Otherwise, let's just say I'll be grateful there's no promotion relegation because we'll be struggling. So I thought we were improved last week. If we can put in a performance like we did against Bay of Plenty, then we're in with a real chance. That's in either team within 7.5 points as well.
Well, it'll be the first, I guess, Blues province that will be...
First win in the NPC this season from the Blues catchment area.
Northland.
Oh, yeah,
Northland.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, apologise, Taniwha.
Sorry, I meant south of...
Yeah. In the actual Auckland region. Yeah.
Oh, boy. So, where are you going?
I'll go with our mate up the north there.
Oh, come on.
Supporters team. Harbour.
Yeah. Shot pity.
Well, it can't be like you.
What?
Well, you bloody claimed... what was the club team that you kept pushing against?
Akapuna,
Yeah. Well, I'd rather go with Northcote than bloody them.
Yeah.
But you just like to rub it in.
Oh.
So you're going to do the opposite, aren't you?
I'm going to go either team by under 7.5 at $2.60. How about that? That's a pretty good way to go, isn't it?
Smart.
Right. We haven't been kicked out yet, so we'll just keep going until someone knocks on the door. And...
He's texting me, by the way, but yeah, sure. Let's get going. I'll cop it for you. I don't know why he texts me, not you.
Because I don't look at my phone.
Okay, he just said, I need you guys done. So we're done.
Oh, we better get our bets in then. We'll start with you first, Shirley.
Yeah, I've gone Otago head-to-head, Tasman head-to-head over Auckland, and Southland plus 12.5 at $3.30. I've chucked 50 on that, and then I've chucked 50 on either team by under 7.5, All Blacks South Africa at $2.35.
I've going to go for it. Harbour, Otago, Wellington, Waikato, Southland, Taranaki, Tasman. Put 50 on that, and then halftime draw, full-time today, bees. Put 50 on that.
Right, one bet for me. I'm going to go in the All Black Springbok test. Either team by under 7.5 at $2.30 into Southland plus 13.5 against Canterbury in the Shield Challenge this weekend. Easy peasy. That's it. Right. What are you up to? Nothing.
No.
Free weekend?
Yeah, pretty much. Jeepers. That's unheard of. Maybe go and help out the Wellington Bees team and see how they get on because they're starting their game early.
Okay, cool. Shirley?
Yeah, same. Just watching footy, really.
Awesome. Righty-ho.
What about you?
It's Group 1 day at Ellerslie this weekend, the Presea Plate, first Group 1 of the season. I'll be heading up there to capture some of the action.
Nice.
Righty-ho. That's it from us this week. A nice, short, sharp pick and go.
Because we're being kicked out.
Because we're getting kicked out. But we'll be back again next week with another edition of the Pick and Go.